here to talk to Dr. Nerung Nadi, and he is the head of Ayurvedic course which is held here in ashram. And we would like to ask you, Doctor, what is the connection between yoga and Ayurveda? Because basically what we are doing in ashram, in Shivananda ashram here, we are studying yoga. And at the same time, it's a unique opportunity to have an Ayurvedic course. I think it's once a year, right? Or twice a year?
Twice a year.
Twice a year.
But here Ayurvedic treatments are given throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
But the courses are done, that is Abhyanga course. Abhyanga means Ayurvedic massage. Ayurvedic massage course, AMC.
Mm-hmm.
Course is done twice a year. Yeah.
So what is the idea of this course?
See, for which the answer will be that you have to go back to the theory of Ayurveda and yoga.
Mm-hmm.
See, when you think of Ayurveda, when 78% of the whole text explains the way in which that person have to live so that he will be healthy always, only 28% of the text is describing about the diseases, diagnosis and treatments. That clearly indicates for a person the most important factor is that he or she never become a sick person in their life. That is what Ayurveda stands for. To be very precise, we believe in 3 P's. P, capital P. Preserve, protect and prolong. I will say it. Protect, preserve and prolong.
Mm-hmm.
Protect you from the probable negative aspects of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Preserve your energy, bring up your energy to fight the negative aspects of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And prolong or longevity, prolong your healthy life, which is very important. How long you live is not that important. How you live is very important.
So you should die healthy.
3 P's. If at all you die healthy.
That sounds a little bit ridiculous for us.
No, it is a matter of fact. And I have seen so many people, just like that they are going to sleep, they go to death. Even my own uncle last year died at the age of 106.
Oh.
Yeah, when he was taking his dinner, the 5th this thing, he could not finish, he died. No disease, nothing. Very healthy, 106. That's the thing. That is what Ayurveda and yoga says. Even yoga, see, so many people used to ask me why Ayurveda have to be connected with yoga.
Yes,
Even
yes.
when you come to my clinic at Chennai, some cases of infertility and all, I insist that patients have to do yoga. If an husband and wife cannot do yoga, I will not treat them at all.
Oh.
Yeah. I am very particular about it. Because yoga and Ayurveda goes hand in gloves. Because the basic principle is 3 P's. Protect, preserve and prolong. Here in yoga what you are doing is, you are active in that.
Mm-hmm.
You are active. You do yourself the yoga practices, the pranayama and the meditation. When it goes, in meditation, you are doing it yourself, you are active. Whereas in Ayurveda, the patient is not active or the person is not active.
He is receiving.
He is receiving it. That is the only difference. So if a person can do something and receive something, that will go well together. That is why yoga and Ayurveda are together. Now as regard to your question about AMC, Ayurvedic Massage Course. See here, we are teaching the basics. And one thing you have to make it very clear that we are not making doctors here, Ayurvedic doctors. We are making good masseurs. Because in Ayurveda, massage holds a very high power, intensive power as far as the health is concerned. I can quote one text which is, of course, will be explained. Abhyanga macharel nityam sa jarashrama vataha drishti prasada pushtiyayu swapna sustwakta dardhya krit. That is the text as regard to the Ayurvedic massage. If you practice this Ayurvedic massage regularly, sa jarashrama vataha, jara, graying of the hair, will not come to you at all. It will be, what does it mean? Aging process is being retarded. Only when aging process comes to your body, the starting grey hair. Now today you can see, so many people, they are with gray hair at the age of 35, 40.
Yes, yes, it's
And
typical.
mind you, I am 62, now started slowly coming here. Slowly coming here. This is not a dyed one. This is a natural dye given by the God. So, at the age of 62 only, if at all gray hair can come, can come. So, Sajara, Shrama. Shrama is fatigue. Today you can see, I am a person who gets up at 3:30 for the past 56 years.
Oh,
I
oh.
sleep only for 4 hours, but when I get up like a green leaf, so fresh like that. Now, what is happening now? The people are supposed to get up at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning, keeps the alarm at 7 o'clock. When the alarm rings, tuck, close it, because you don't want to get up even at that time. That's the thing. So now everybody have got with this fatigue, they get up in the morning. So that will not be that. The laziness, vataha, that is musculoskeletal imbalance, will never be there. Vata is rheumatism and arthritis, which is the resultant effect of the musculoskeletal imbalance. That will never be there. These are being prevented. Then now what that brings in? Drishti prasadaha. Drishti prasada means a very powerful eyesight as well as beautiful eyes. Pushti, a wealth in health, which is very important. A wealthy health. Ayuhu, longevity. Even longevity is being seen. Swapna sustwakta. Suswapnaha. Swapna have got two meanings. Su means a very good sleep. In Ayurveda we always say never lie down and sleep.
What you should do?
That's the thing. Never lie down and sleep. Ayurveda says sleep and lie down. When the time comes, sleep should come to you and then you just fall onto the bed. So very good sleep. And Swapna have one more meaning, good dreams. Only sattvic dreams, beautiful dreams you see, if at all you see a dream. See, if you see a horror scene as a dream, the next day it is havoc in your life. If you have a beautiful dream, morning is a beautiful one.
That's true.
Then sustvakta. Tvakta means again the luster of the skin is being taken care of. Dardhyakrit is very important. A person who can do things what he wants to do. What does it mean? A very powerful mind in a healthy body. So it takes care of the whole body as well as your mind. So massage plays a very important role as far as Ayurveda is concerned. So if this can be done to a person, if you can give a good massage to a person, that is the best service that you can ever think of in your life. That is why Ayurvedic massage course have been started. If a person, you take the money, that is a different case. But if you can give you a good stuff, a good massage, a person can give a little bit of extra health and the longevity with body and the mind. That is the best service that you can ever think of. That's why Swamiji thought we will have an Ayurvedic massage course so that we can produce at least 10 to 15 students every session. So about 25 to 30 students can
year.
go out and do some good service. Like that what you are teaching yoga. By teaching yoga you are doing a wonderful service. Like that if you can give a good massage, that's a wonderful service that you can. Swami Shivananda started this Ayurveda there itself. Vishnu Devananda was telling, even personally told me to be in touch with ashram before his samadhi. So that is why I am here. For the past 10 years I am coming here only because he gave a word before his samadhi. That's the thing. So that is exactly what is going on. Now your another question was who can join?
Yes.
Anybody who can understand English, because I talk in English.
Yes.
But yes, if a group comes there is a translator, brings in a translator, yes, well and good. Otherwise, there is no basic knowledge is required because giving a massage is the science clubbed with a good art. If you can bring your hands, move on over the body, that is supposed to be the best. Now, when you talk about courses, anybody like that with 4 weeks course, of course we give the history and philosophy of Ayurveda, we give the general education, basic from the creation up to the world, the end, not end of the world, the present world. Then anatomy and physiology. In Ayurveda as well as in modern medicine, see, one of our directors here, faculty Dr. Ravindran, is both BAMS, that is a graduate in Ayurveda as well as a graduate in modern medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So anatomy and physiology in general will be taught both in Ayurveda and in allopathy, which can be always clubbed and see that both talk same.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then we have Panchakarma.
What is that? I saw this treatment there, and you are doing separate treatments. One
Yeah.
is the course, Ayurvedic course, and the other thing is this which you are giving into separate
Yeah.
treatments.
Panchakarma is, see, basically in Ayurveda again, what is the difference between Ayurveda and modern medicine? That we will have to bring in a little bit. See, suppose you have a knee joint pain. You go to a modern medicine man. He will immediately say, okay, you have a pain here. There is an inflammation, redishness, pain, isn't it? Inflammation and pain. So immediately the doctor thinks of NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory analgesic agents.
Terrible. Sounds terrible.
But that is fact.
Yes.
He can only think of it. The latest ibuprofen with paracetamol will be a good combination. Yes, you get a relief within half an hour, little bit of relief. Of course, after 4 hours, you'll have to take another dose, or 6 hours, you'll have to take another dose, like that, like that. But in Ayurveda, what we do, we find out what is the root cause of this pain. In Ayurvedic, man is not bothered for your pain on the knee joint or a low back or wherever, shoulder or wherever it is. That doesn't mean that he is a sadist. He's not a sadist, but he always think, what is the reason that this pain has started in him. So we find out which humoral principle, Vata, Pitta or Kapha, has been disturbed in him. And try to correct that. When you correct that, this automatically goes. Pain automatically vanishes. We always used to say, we never cure a disease. The cure is only inherent in the treatment. Which sounds wonderful meaning. We never think of curing this pain here. We are thinking of bringing the balance of the three humerals, Vata, Pitta and Kapha. When that has been equalized or brought into equilibrium, this pain automatically subsides. That is why Ayurveda takes a little bit more time. Because we never, suppose there is an indigestion. In allopathy it is an enzyme straight away. But we don't get an enzyme. Enzyme only activates the digestion for that time. And the next time when you eat, again you have to take an enzyme. Next time you eat, again an enzyme. Like that. Here what we are doing, we give some other medicines so that the pitta aggravation is being brought into balance, so that enzymes are being secreted in your own system on a permanent level. So that after some time, maybe yes, it may take few, maybe months even, especially joint pains and all, we say take medicine for 6 months continuously. Yesterday I have seen one patient from US who was taking ibuprofen with paracetamol, high this thing, 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams for the past 1 year.
Killing yourself from inside, totally killing.
Whereas in Ayurveda, slowly we correct the Vata and see that, and Panchakarma comes there.
Yeah, what is that?
When there are some toxins are reduced, toxins have been produced in their system. Panchakarma, Pancha Shodhana Karma is the correct word. Pancha means 5, Shodhana means elimination, Karma means therapy, 5 elimination therapy. So toxins are being eliminated. The poison within you has been eliminated. Suppose it is the case of lungs and a lot of phlegm and all those things, where it's a chronic cases. You make the patient vomit. For which also 14 days Ayurvedic massage is a must. No Panchakarma have to be entertained on a system without 14 days Ayurvedic massage, which is very, very, very important. Very important. Nowadays people come and ask me, can you give me Vasti, one of the very important Panchakarma. I am here for 4 days, you give me a Vasti. I said, no Vasti here. This is not the place. If you can stay back 14 days, yes. Any Panchakarma can be conducted. So this is Vamana, is vomiting. when you have small problems on the stomach, basically that is pitta aggravated problems. This has been purgation, virechana, and there is vasti. Vasti is enimeta, is clear enema, but 2-3 days enema is given with a small quantity of medicated oil,
Mm-hmm.
and the third day enema with a herbal decoction
Mm-hmm.
of 1.25 liters of herbal decoction is been pumped in through the anus, and the entire thing is washed in. See, Vasti is one of the very, very most important Panchakarma, because you can see that almost everybody, when you go to the toilet, not that 100% feces are going out. Some small particles is being just stuck to the walls of the system. That has been there like hard rocks, and after some time it starts emitting toxins. So actually, for the pollution, for the sake of pollution or so many other things, sound pollution, air pollution, the other pollution, you can go to forest, you can go to hill stations, you can go to lake area, you can get away from all these pollutions. But all this time, what you are carrying your own enemy within you.
Yeah, in
These
intestine.
particles which starts emitting toxins, and from that stomach only everything starts. All diseases, ama, we call it ama, which is being converted to arthritis or rheumatism. So what Vasti is doing, when 14 days massage is given, 2 days small quantity of oil preparation is being pumped in after food. So it will go and stay there for some time, soften all the hardened particles, and the third day 1.25 liters of the decoction is being pumped in. It washes the whole system and takes off all your toxins.
Doctor, can I ask you something? There is a treatment in the West which is very popular now and also quite costly, and it's called colon therapy. You certainly heard about it. What is the difference between this treatment in Ayurveda and popular colon therapy? Isn't it the same or close to that, or it's
Colon therapy is basically doing things through enema, isn't it?
no, through also in the big quantities of water is pumped in, and it washes. But I think it's about 7 liters of water, and what I know it's without preparation like you are saying.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can come, you can get it, and walk out.
Okay. See, I have not studied that colon therapy at
Yeah.
all. But this here, what we are doing is basically you make the whole thing to soften the whole thing. We give some time. At the same time, we see that all these Vata, Pitta, Kapha, humoral principles are being brought into the channels properly by 14 days massage.
And then
And
only.
then is done the cleaning.
Then it's different because what we heard also from our doctors, like why, for example, I would not take this treatment myself. What I heard that you have a normal system of micro elements in your body. And also in your intestine, they are placed in certain areas on certain levels.
Yes.
When you are taking something like colon therapy, the huge wash, then you're mixing all the levels naturally, and all the natural flora is being mixed up. So the body is confused. It doesn't know what to do now. So is that right?
It can be correct, but even your intestinal flora is often disturbed by intake of antibiotics.
Yes.
Taking plain antibiotics, you are definitely spoiling your intestinal,
Flora.
disturbing the intestinal flora. Of course, earlier days I was seeing the olden days doctors used to prescribe a lot of multivitamins and B complex along with antibiotics. Now I see even antibiotics are prescribed straight away like that,
Straight without vitamins.
which definitely creates a problem in your intestinal flora. So like that, one more distraction is been given by this. That's all I can say.
It doesn't change the
Yeah.
whole picture. Tell me please, where we can take the treatments like that if we want to. So here in ashram, basically, you are not placed all the time. You are coming for the course and then going away. But the treatments are still be given if person, for example, would like to come here specially for treatments. The time when the course is not in, he can find you, or it's different. Or
Yeah, but here there is a doctor already.
Mm-hmm.
Now when I am here, I take the lead, that's all. Otherwise there is a doctor and regular people are there. Of course, you know that I am from Chennai. I have got my own clinic. Even, see, these things are there everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, ashram also have a wonderful setup, that's all I can say.
Mm-hmm.
Even classes, even I am conducting in Chennai.
Mm-hmm.
I am with ashram, I am conducting twice. Even in Chennai, I am conducting classes. And we have got a good, but may not be like this. Of course, I do give meditation
Mm-hmm.
and of course pranayama and yoga postures, yoga class every day. That is an additional advantage. But those people who are not that sattvic as a whole and stay in a place where only this have to be there, means again sitting on a crossed leg, even in the classrooms here, crossed legs. Some people
Have
sometimes,
problems.
yeah, problems.
Yes, it's
So
difficult for the beginning.
there it will not be like that. There will be air conditioned rooms, a good conference hall, swimming pool, etc., etc. Some additional attractions for those who are not that sattvic, who cannot live in ashram.
Yes.
Otherwise, according to me, this ashram life is wonderful.
Yes, it's beautiful.
This is wonderful.
It's beautiful. It's giving you so much of
Yeah.
encouragement to continue life in a little bit different way
Yeah.
and different directions. That's what it gives us.
Chennai now, I am planning to have one more unit, very near to the sea, with a swimming pool and then few rooms, air conditioned rooms.
How many patients you can accommodate in your clinic in Chennai?
Chennai usually we go up to 9-10 per
It's
day.
per day.
That now when the other one also comes, which is expected by April, there another 2, this thing will be there. So we will have about 14 rooms, that is with double rooms.
Mm-hmm.
So 28 people can be accommodated and treatments can be given. There is a good swimming pool, there is a good restaurant.
And they can stay for a month.
Yes.
What is the recommended time? If one comes to treat himself, let's say from back pain or bad stomach conditions or something like that, what is the average time which you would recommend to stay with you?
See, minimum 14 days. Minimum 14 days means you have to come here for 16, 17 days. So 14 days should be there for treatment.
And
then
then
21 days. See, for example, I'll tell you, there are so many people who are coming from America
yes.
to me for obesity problem.
Oh yes,
Obesity.
America
Obesity is a big business now.
Yes,
Obesity is a big business. So once I still remember, 7 years back, one multi-billionaire, I will not tell her name and the identities,
Yes.
multi-billionaire from US, that too from New York, came to me and told me that, doctor, I want to reduce my weight, that too I have 15 days, do it. I said, you take the next flight and go back to US. There will be some clinics where they advertise obesity cleared within 15 days. Enter
It's
them.
not me.
It is not me, I said. Then she asked me, what is the reason? See, I am ready to give you any amount. I said, you can give me any amount provided I give you a treatment. But if I am not ready to give you a treatment, how can you give me? So better don't sit here. That's what I said. Then she got aghast, a person talking, that he doesn't want money for treatment. Then I explained to her that the obesity reducing is that you are making a kapha person to a vata person. You are changing her humoral principal nature.
Mm-hmm.
So when you change your nature, even nature should not know that. That is very, very important. Very important. If you change your nature, even nature should not know that. See, for example, suppose I have a football. I want to get rid of this. I just throw like that.
Mm-hmm.
It will hit that wall, may come back faster.
And
Isn't it?
hit me.
Hit me back. If I want to get rid of, roll it off so that it will go then, hit and then stay back. Like that, obesity is like a football with you. Do it slow. If you are ready to be with me, every year 21 days, for the next 5 years, I will see that you reduce about 15 kilos. But that will be permanent.
Only 15 kilos and she's 100? She wants to
she-
reduce probably 50.
No. She was hardly about She was not that big also. She was hardly 80 or something.
I see.
So 60, 65 with a good height.
Mm-hmm.
So 60, 65 would look so
Wonderful.
beautiful for her. Then she said, okay, I will take a chance. That too I said meditation and pranayama and yoga postures. All those things, and she did it.
Mm-hmm.
After 3 years, I said, okay, you need not come. Now she have already gone down within 3 years. Religiously she used to come. Okay. Now, after the 4th year, I told her, you need not come. But even now she comes regularly. Every year she comes. She said, instead of spending money and then energy in some other place for the holidays,
Oh, sure.
I'll better take care of my health with you. Like that, I have a lot of patients who comes from Austria, UK, England, this is America, Canada. Canada, regular people are there from Canada who every year religiously they come, take the treatment and go. When you take 14 days treatment every year, you are healthy for the next 365 minus 14, 354 days. You feel healthy.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
I think after that we will be queuing in front of your door if you will tell us a few words about your prices. Is it very expensive?
See, one thing I'll tell you.
There
See,
is no price for health that I know.
I am wearing a golden ring. Do you have a ring?
Not now.
Okay. Anyway, your dress is so beautiful.
Thank you.
Is it costly or not?
Yes, it is.
There are cheaper varieties, cotton or something available. Here I can get silver for a cheaper rate, but I opt for gold because I want gold.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a good thing, you pay for it. Never think of but it is not very costly. It's not that very costly.
For example,
Definitely not.
if 21 days with 14 days massage and accommodation and doing some treatment, how much it will be?
Along with treatment and accommodation, in my latest this thing in Chennai,
Yes.
may cost you average 2,000 rupees to 2,500 rupees per day.
Per day. Mm-hmm.
That is about
$50
$50.
per day.
Per
Well,
day.
it's very reasonable comparing to
That's
the
what I'm telling you. It's not that very costly.
Yeah, to the clinics in the West. Like when you're going to famous resort in Thailand, you're paying for a weekend $2,500 per two person.
Yeah. So about $50 a day is reasonably this thing. This plus or minus 5 or 10%. That's all.
And
That
which
too with stay in an air-conditioned room,
Mhm.
with a swimming pool, to this thing, and a sauna bath, all those things will be there. That is
Wow.
the thing, yeah.
sounds great. And what is the basic diseases or disturbances which you can take care of? Is it any limitation, like if people are having such a bad things like cancer and so on and so on? Is it also your?
Yeah, here I am a little bit of what do you call it? An outward spoken person.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think that I am talking against Ayurvedic system here now.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to say something. See, there are two ways of thinking. I think I have told you that I have done my modern pharmaceuticals also.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier to that, I was a physics graduate. So from that physics and from the science, I have come to Ayurveda, to philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I believe in documentation. I believe in documentation, not claims.
Mm-hmm.
See, I am not here to claim that Ayurveda can cure cancer, AIDS, etc., etc. Because these are all not been documented. Only because of that. I don't say that cancer has not been cured. Because I am not ready to believe if you just come and tell me that this person has cured a cancer. See, for example, asthma. There are so many people claiming asthma cure. But according to even to Ayurvedic theory, asthma cannot be cured.
Oh, really?
Diabetes cannot be cured.
Mm-hmm.
Rheumatism cannot be cured. It is just like a wonderful, sincere wife who will never leave her husband till her death. These three fellows. But if somebody claims that disease can be done, only thing I will not believe. I had a patient of my own who used to come for me to asthma. And after 3 years of courses, he is perfectly all right now. And I immediately called some of my good friends, very senior doctors, and discussed on that subject. How is it possible? When asthma cannot be cured, how is he living now without asthma? And we are inquiring, I find out that it was all the symptoms of asthma, but it was not an asthma, that's all.
Oh,
But if it is
that's
asthma, yes. So, but I cannot claim that I have cured asthma. There must be some documentation. No documentation. See, I am a person basically who goes in researches. I have done a lot of researches in herbs and all those things. And in fact, I got my doctorate from the Open International University of Sri Lanka on my studies on Asparagus racemosus, the galactogogic effect of Asparagus racemosus. Like that. So, if there are documentation, yes, I can say yes, this is done. But claims, I am a rebellion.
Could you tell us, please, if one wants to follow a more healthy way of life without coming first here or to your clinic in Chennai, what you would recommend as the first points of starting the program?
See, we have a daily regimen in Ayurveda, daily regimens, night regimens, seasonal regimens. If you live accordingly,
What are these?
I think it is 1.5 hours talk.
Oh.
Because I will be talking on Sunday here, but unfortunately you are not
Yeah.
here.
No, but just
Sunday.
shortly. Can you do
See,
something shorter
basically,
than 1 hour?
get up in the early morning.
Yes.
Get up in the early morning. I don't go to the scientific part of it. There is high science behind it. It's not just like that. Get up early morning, do a little bit of yoga, little bit of japa, chanting. It is very important. The other day you were listening to Dr. Brian Elori.
Yes, with a great respect.
There are two things he was talking. Then the next day afternoon we were discussing on that subject. One thing he was talking about the consciousness, which can produce something other than
Mm-hmm.
of your characters. That is the thing. That is exactly written 5,000 years back in our text in Sanskrit. Prakarshena karodum karyam ulpadayadi idi mula prakritihi. That is, that which can produce something different from the self is the rootless root of the universe, consciousness. And next point, what he's very much attracted by me was the potential energy he was talking about, the ether.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is exactly is talked here in Sanskrit so many years back, that we say that everything in this universe is under the control of the God, isn't it? If you believe in God, otherwise that energy. Okay. Now, the next sentence is, but this God is under the control of the mantras,
Mm-hmm.
the chanting mantras. How? Because when mantra is also a part of universe, how can God be under the control of this thing? That's a contradictory statement.
Mm-hmm.
There exactly the science comes. Here, what exactly it means is, these mantras is produced a peculiar type of the sound frequency. Sound frequency has been emitted from our mouth by chanting the mantras. These sound frequencies create a volume of form of that the Lord on which we do the mantra in the ether, not in the air, in the ether value. Ether is everywhere.
Yes, yes, yes.
As he said, Dr. Brian said, even in our body ether is there.
Yes.
So these sound frequencies are being forming the Lord of the mantra in the ether. The Sanskrit version is Shabda Guno Akasha. The only sound can reach ether. And that is how the God, the power of the God is being created. The potential energy, what he was talking, is the energy of the Lord. So actually this japa is very important.
What about our world, the Western world? If we don't know mantras, whether our religion will do our prayers?
What is the prayer? That is mantra.
Yeah, so it do. Okay.
Oh Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus is a mantra. Allahu Akbar is a mantra. Krishna Rama is a mantra. Anything positive which
Okay.
connects to that energy is a mantra.
And point number 3, after that?
So doing japa, mantra, then
Getting up
meditation, get up in the early morning, wash yourself, then do these things, yoga practice, and there specifically they say abhyanga, that is Ayurvedic massage. See, Abhyanga Machare Nityam. On those days, Nityam means every day.
Oh,
Another
gosh.
meaning is regularly. If you can have 14 days a year and once in a month, that becomes regularly. So, oil bath or at least take bath. Then, food habits, sattvic food, good friends, happy life, happiness in you. What is this happiness then? That is a big question. See, happiness can be brought by you very easily. People think that it is a big thing and all, happiness. It's not a big thing. You can bring it easily. If you can accept realities of life gracefully. Gracefully accept the realities of life. You are destined to sit here like this. Okay?
You can't change it.
You can't change it. Now you cannot change it, isn't it? You are
No.
supposed to get it. So you have to sit on a stone, not on a cushion. You can sit in two ways. What? Oh my God, bloody hell, I have to sit on this bloody stone. That is not happiness. But if you can gracefully accept, okay, today is my destiny is this good. Maybe it's good for me. Okay, sit happily. Whereas you and me and her sitting smiling and sitting happily. This is happiness. So happiness in you. Happiness not is outside your body. So if you can bring it in, then that is the best life. If you are happy, health is good. If you are unhappy, health will be go wrong. So these are the few things
To start with.
to start with. Be a sattvic life, sattvic food, good friends, good thinking.
Simple
This is-
suggestions.
yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
very much.
Thank you.
It's very, very positive talk. And I'm very happy that we got a chance to talk to you, because I think everyone who will listen to us will change at least on 1 milligram his habits, his life, his thoughts, and maybe will come to you also.
Yeah, just get up before the sunrise. People will be very active. Get up before sunrise. That is my advice to the whole world. Get up before sunrise. You will be very active. When you are active, you are healthy.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Welcome. Strict. There must be bathrooms. They wash, they clean their body and then get into the. Only for the sake of, you call it Shuddham. Shuddham means that if you want to go to temple, you have to dip. In my young days, when I was in small classes, first standard, second standard, when you come out from the school, you have to dip in the water and then get into the house. They are all old protocols. Then there is another tank where ladies will take bath immediately after the menstruation, periods time, to become this thing. There is another tank where when we become bachelors and we friends will come and all. That will be a little bit outside the guest house. We had a guest house. There we will have a tank where we can play and then swim and then enjoy. So these were all the old custom of things.
You know all the customs and habits. From which family you
Yes.
are? Tell us a little bit about your previous generations.
See, generations that you go, Eradi is my father. Eradi, even now, one of my father's nephew is one of the very famous Eradi now, Justice Balakrishna Eradi.
What is Aradi?
Eradi is a surname, it's of a family. This
Okay.
thing. Yeah. We come under Kshatriya. Kshatriya means Raja. I told you I still remember my mother's father sitting on a Simhasana
What is
with a
Simhasana?
crown. Simhasana is crown,
Throne.
crown.
And with a crown.
With a crown sitting.
So
as a
he was
Raja.
leading what region?
That Malabar area.
He was the
Malabar.
head of King of Malabar.
King of Malabar. Even now, by protocols and paraphernalia, there is still Raja is there, but he doesn't have a Simhasana and a crown, that's all.
And that's also your relative, today's relative.
Yes, naturally, it will be relative like that, related.
But you know him?
Yes, very much, very much, very much. Now, first of all, they become the Raja now at the age of 90 plus, because according to that age, so only that person dies, the other person. By that time, he will be 92 and a half, if 93 dies, like that. But it was there in the olden days, where they need not. My father had only 2-3 interests. One is Kerala martial arts. He was doing researches. Ayurveda And in his time, and father used to get 2-3 doctors in our guest house, make them stay there, do researches on medication, and then give free treatments for all the people. Even medicines, including Swarnabhasma. Swarnabhasma means gold, gold ash. Preparations with gold and all used to be given free. Now, unfortunately, I am not in a position to do that because I have to leave. Those days, there was a lot of land, they can get a lot of money, so money was not a criterion.
And how many generations of your family were doing Ayurveda? You
No,
mentioned your
Ayurveda,
father.
no, even my father was doing only researches, he was not a doctor even,
So you're the first generation practitioner.
practicing Ayurveda. But still, I make it a point not to take money as a consultation fee in my clinic. In my clinic and even in ashram, I don't take consultation fee. Medicine is given, take the money, or if this thing is given, treatment is given, take the money. Because we have to give,
Yes, but consultations are free.
yeah, consultation.
That's great. That's great. And how many generations of yours knows this ashram and the master?
Now, my father was the disciple of Swami Shivananda.
That's how you came to know.
Yeah,
him.
late early years of 1934, 35 and all. He was there staying in Rishikesh, and he is a graduate from Yoga Vedanta Forest Academy. The first graduate from Yoga Vedanta Forest Academy. At that time, Vishnu Swami was hardly 9 years old. He was not in Shivananda ashram.
Yeah, when he
That time,
entered
Chidananda had just come. Swami Chidananda had just come as a brahmachari. My father was that. I met Swami Shivananda in the year 1962, just 1 year
before
Yeah.
he, before his
But my
samadhi.
brother, my sisters, they were all there.
So you have a big relation.
Yeah. Then I know Swami Vishnu as a disciple of Swami Shivananda. Vishnu was also given me a real good this thing,
But how your father came from being a Brahmin and from being the king to the disciple stage? What was his role? He was...
No, see, Kshatriyas and Brahmins are supposed to give more importance for sattvic life. That way. See, we are purely vegetarians. I'm a pure vegetarian. I don't smoke. Even I don't take onion and garlic. I'm very strict in that way. So that was continuously, my father was more strict, like that, So we were supposed to be very sattvic and then spiritually elevated persons.
And it was natural that he...
Yeah, it is natural. It is natural, quite natural. And to your, you have heard about Satya Sai Baba.
Yeah, sure. I've been
Of
2
Puttaparthi.
times.
Yeah.
I've been 2 times in Puttaparthi.
See, when one of my very distant relative wanted to see my father for this thing, and he knew that my father was very keen on spiritual activities. So he brought one book from Kasturi, Satyam Shivam Sundaram, which was written about Swami Satya Sai Baba. And he told my father he is a Lord incarnate. It has happened in 1950s, late 50s. So father was also like me, I told you I am a rebellion as far as this thing. We don't believe just like that. We evaluate things. So he immediately wrote to Swami Shivananda. Here I got a book like this, where it is stated that he is the Lord Shiva incarnate. What is your
Opinion.
What is your advice? That was my father's letter. Prompt came the reply that he is a Lord Shiva incarnation. Spend your final days with him and take the liberation. That's what he wrote to my father.